Shoes for the X's, and I think this applies to both the males and the females. You're looking at a desert environment, something very hot. Now, many of the or much of the time that we're going to be dealing with that, we're going to be in sand. Now, we might be driving in cars, in which case the choice of shoes is totally based on comfort. And if I were in a desert environment and I was driving from point to point, I'd probably wear sandals, even though the sand's going to get inside your toes and everything. The sandals, just, it's comforting getting the heat out. That's what I would do if I'm just lounging around the tent. Now, to the extent that you have to start moving, and again, the bathrooms are going to be outside of camp, so you're going to have to do some good walking to get out there. And again, not saying it all is going to be sandy areas, but most of it probably will be. We're going to be going through Jordan. If you're looking at lower Jordan, you're realistically looking at like they have an actual park there, but it's just massive sand. It's the upper part of the Arabian Desert. And then you're going into the Syrian Desert as you go through Syria, and then down through Iraq. And again, Iraq is not known for things other, for the most part, than sand and Muslims, and oil. And so very much keeping cool is a factor. Now here's what I've kind of done. I've just picked up some Merrells. They're very lightweight. Lightweight is key. Also breathable, which is very key. Now the other thing I've done, which is just because I have it available, is I've taken some sheepskin and I've cut it into as a liner. Now I can put this in and that will keep my foot so I don't have to wear cotton. The one thing you do not want to be wearing in a desert environment is cotton socks, because when your feet start to perspire, and they will, it's going to get your sock wet, and then you're going to have problems because you don't want to have wet socks as you're walking through. Wool pulls the moisture out. So, not saying you have to do sheepskin. This is something that I think is great, but that doesn't mean that's what you're wanting to do. But they have wool inserts for a shoe, which are very cheap, and you can pop them in there. Honestly, if it weren't for the fact of the sand and needing a grip, I would think Converse All-Stars are probably some of the most perfect shoes, because they're canvas, they're lightweight, because it's a high top, it'll actually keep more sand out. They just don't have really good grip. Now, there's very easy ways to fix that and to give them grip, and really would make them an excellent shoe. I just could do it otherwise, and so I have. But again, that's the thought process if I'm looking at something for a shoe. Again, we're not just going to be there during the summer. We will be going through winter. And how much of the time are you going to be out there walking? And the amount of time, especially, let's assume that you're trying to do the warrior class, and you're thinking, what type of boot? I don't know that I would even use an army boot at all, even the desert army boots, because they're heavy. And lightweight is what you're really looking for. And you're not wanting to wear socks as much as I'm even thinking of performance socks, like a polyester sock, so I don't have, that's totally breathable, and let the wool do what the wool's trying to do, or the sheepskin do what it's trying to do, which is to pull out that moisture. The other thing, of course, if you're doing the warrior aspect, you're going to be on roads. You don't have to really worry about your shoe. You don't have to worry about the desert environment. So tennis shoes work perfectly for most of the things that we will do on the warrior side. You're not going to be chasing somebody down in the Sahara Desert, or in the Syrian Desert, or the Arabian Desert. The locusts will take care of that issue. Those who escape, the locust, I said locust, I'm sorry, the hornets. So we don't have to worry about those aspects. And so again, as it pertains to the warrior class, I would think a pair of tennis shoes is probably the smartest. High tops in the event you're dealing with sand. But most of the time you probably won't. You can probably just get by realistically with a pair of tennis shoes and just be happy. It's a lighter weight shoe. Again, I would pull, at least I'd put a wool insert into it.